MAGA has finally figured out that Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is nothing but a big, giant fraud. And I'm not just talking about, oh, he's a fraud now. Apparently, he has been a fraud for his entire adult working life. The reason MAGA has suddenly turned against Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and not just MAGA, but even some of the people who are not necessarily political, but have jumped on the MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, agenda, including Jillian Michaels. You see, recently, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. supported Donald Trump's executive order allowing glyphosate, the active ingredient in Monsanto, or now Bayer's Roundup, to, proliferate through the United States and continuing to poison more people. Glyphosate has been proven in studies to cause cancers. Juries have repeatedly ruled in favor of the plaintiffs who brought those Monsanto lawsuits just a couple years ago. Those lawsuits, by the way, two of the leading firms on that litigation are both firms that at one point, and one of them during the litigation, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was of counsel for. So the two leading law firms, one of them had been employing RFK Jr. during that litigation, and he had worked on it. He knows the dangers of it. And I know he also knows the dangers of it because when he was working with Ring of Fire and I was producing, we did segments on it. And I also happen to, by the way, work for the firm that was handling the cases. I know the dangers of glyphosate. The public knows the dangers of glyphosate. Monsanto, now Bayer, knew the dangers, which is why they ended up paying out over $11 billion to people that had developed cancers after prolonged exposure to glyphosate. And Donald Trump, a man with no scientific training, no scientific expertise, not even a scientific degree, comes along, signs this executive order, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., along with his brainworm standing behind him, happy as a lark. This is great for America. Let's put these chemicals back out there, says the man who believes a keto diet can cure schizophrenia. The MAHA movement is pissed because even they understand, wait a minute, this stuff could be deadly. This stuff could cause significant health problems that could kill us or just make us unhealthy for the rest of our life. You are supposed to be the guy, Robert, who goes to Washington, D.C. and gets rid of the bad things. So as I mentioned, Jillian Michaels, famed health instructor, I think she's maybe got some cookbooks or something out too. But anyway, she's been out there for a very long time. She was on The Biggest Loser. So, another reality show person. But she had been a big supporter of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and the MAHA movement. So she told The Hill, quote, "This is actually devastating. It is not a conspiracy theory that glyphosate is linked to cancer. There are hundreds of studies that have illustrated now it increases risk significantly for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. We also know through whistleblowers and numerous lawsuits, of which there have been over 170,000, that the chemical company knew this and tried to bury the information, tried to go after the independent researchers, created ghost studies to try to tell a different story, and essentially they now have to pay $7.25 billion, the makers of glyphosate, to the victims. And the number's actually up to $11 billion. But anyway, these are the people who blindly stood by this man. They thought whatever he said, no matter how stupid it was accurate. But eventually, and this is what's happened with Donald Trump, with his lies about the economy that have turned MAGA against him too. Eventually, these people who go their entire lives lying, they end up going a little too far, right? You're Icarus. You got your wings and you're flying, but you got a little too close to the sun and your wings melted and fell, and you fell with them. And that's what's happening now. But for Robert F. Kennedy Jr., it's so much deeper than that. He built his career, he built his name for himself, being this environmental warrior, giving speeches, telling, I'll see you at the barricades because I'll be out there and get arrested with the protesters. It was all a sham. It was all a fraud. You worked against glyphosate. You did segments on the dangers of it that I produced. And it was all fake. It was all fake in your quest for power. And honestly, it's not just the Make America Healthy Again people that have been duped. I feel duped, and I feel fucking pissed about it too. All those years, you were nothing more than a disgusting, deceitful fraud. And at this point, everybody sees what you really are, and nobody likes it. Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and do not forget to like and comment and share widely among your friends.